Taehyung was walking through the dark basement. His eyes are too calm. The faint smell of blood hit at his nostril. Walking along the way like he owns the ground. One of the bodyguards walked to him. He was holding swords in his hand. The large katana with black adorning its holding spot. Taehyung glanced at the man in his early 20s. He took the katana. His fingers wrapped around Tetsuka. The fit was perfect. His arm dropped, and the point met concrete, creating a sharp noise. The sound is disgustingly ear-piercing. He pushed open the heavy iron door to the red room. The Raven Mafia come to the large room where a dim red light is glowing. The floor still holds the dry blood marks. Taehyung took his seat on the chair placed in the middle of the room. In front of him sat Mateo's head hanging low, blood oozing out furiously from the already open wound. He placed the katana across his knees, a black slash against the dark fabric of his trousers. "Look at me, you can't just hide your face after messing with me." Taehyung's voice is cold, calm and calculated. He didn't shout, just talk as he often does. His fingers run through the black sharp blade placed in his lap. Eyes glued on the man before him whose body is painted with BD. Mateo tried to open his mouth, but the fears are swallowing him. His lips tremble violently, while the body is shaking in pure agony. It was a Herculean effect. Every muscle on his body is screaming loudly to break free and protest, but can he do that? He can't possibly do anything when he is chained, unable to move a limb of his body. Finally, with difficulties he raised his head. Eyes filled with fear. The man in front of isn't the Taehyung he imagined. He isn't the mere businessman who messed with his business, who challenges his abilities from time to time. Instead there is Taehyung, who is a sculpture of shadow, the center of the attention in a hellish nightmare. His expression is unreadable, sitting with katana fingers running over the sharpest edge, sitting like a stillness incarnate. His gaze on Mateo was pushing him as if the stare holding some physical power. Mateo's body shivered at the scene. He never imagined Taehyung like this. Like a devil claiming his soul like he owns it. He opened his mouth, a desperate hope of pleading. But the only sound that escapes from his lips is a guttural sound. He tried to surface the sound hardly and talk things out, knowing very well there isn't any chance to do so. Taehyung won't listen even if he pleads way too desperately. But a series of coughs block the way. Blood is spilling out from his mouth. Taehyung watched his performance without any expression. His eyes on the man in front of, gazing lazily. The red light glinted off the perfect, untouched edge of the katana. Taehyung leaned forward and drew every atom of Mateo's terror toward him. "Did you really think I can't find a mole inside my own territory?" Taehyung said. This time voice was way too cold. Mateo's blood dried at the voice. His entire instinct screams this is the most terrifying voice he ever heard. Taehyung's thumbs trace over the sharpest edge. Skin torn in a friction of a second. Blood gushed out from the thumb, falling to the floor. Tip, 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 blood dropping, sound more loud than it should be. Silence. There was heavy silence. Only the wet hitch of Mateo's breath and Taehyung's blood-dropping sound erupted the place. The wounded man opened his mouth trying to take out some words. A single tear rolled down from his eyes to bloody cheeks. Taehyung watched the scene. The analytic calm in his eyes is more terrifying than anything. Without breaking the gaze, the Raven Mafia stood up on his foot. His katana lifted from his knees, finding the concrete floor, creating the sharp nose once. Again, he starts walking around, more like engraving a circle. He completed the circle. The disgusting noise of nails on the chalkboard stopped abruptly. Taehyung stood behind Mateo's chair. Mateo felt the dark wave presence in his back. Taehyung leaned down. His voice was a whisper, his lips close to Mateo's ear. "Won't you welcome your death? You know I would love to see you suffering the worst." Taehyung whispers while Mateo feels shiver all over his body. His trembling lips were finally able to utter some words. "Help me, Taehyung. Let me go. I won't ever cross you. I will better disappear myself from this world. Please let me go," Mateo whispered painstakingly, each word left with a shuddering and broken voice. The pain is too unbearable to take out any words. But he tried to overcome every pain just to get a chance for living. Taehyung's silence is louder than scream. His movement is stitched with patience. Mateo has a flicker of hope now. A hope that life can embrace him. He will wipe away the name, Mad Industry, from the business world. He will wipe away every existence of the Choi family from this universe. Can he guess who Taehyung is? But still a small amount of hope keeps him steady. Taehyung said nothing. He just raised the katana in the air. The sharp edge falls on the bruised knuckle of Mateo, pricing the SK. N along with F euro shish, just with mere touch of the sharp BL at D euro. A loud scream rolled over every corner of this hellish R-Euro-D room. Taehyung said nothing, just pulled the katana a bit upward, pricing the $K. N and F Euro $H along the way. Mateo's scream grew louder and louder with each second. Soon the left hand ruined brutally. Taehyung gives the same attention to his right hand. Mateo's wiggling figure trembles in extravagant pain. His voice turned weaker due to excessive blood loss. Taehyung walked like a king. Each step is thumbing on the floor. The guards placed the chair forward. Taehyung sat there and placed the katana on his thigh. He pulled the katana following the same pattern. The pattern followed almost 50 times. The skin and flesh ruined. Face's skin brutally takes torn, barely able to recognize. Mateo once was a fine man with pride, now sitting lifeless. Barely recognizable with skin and flesh torn apart. Take care of this matter. The Raven Mafia said with a deep voice. Pointing finger at the worn-out body. His eyes are still holding the predatory hawk. Bogum walked inside, nose crunched, watching the dead body sitting in the chair. Taehyung takes a glance over at the man who is standing there. Face showing the overwhelming disappointment while it's lingering on Taehyung. Taehyung knows Bogum hates his cruelty. Bogum hates his way of torturing someone. Bogum hates his coldest nature. But something he can't hate is Taehyung. The boy who held Taehyung's hand when he was utterly broken. A heavy sigh was audible all over the silent place. Go to your home. Jungkook is alone, and your little fangirl is in Kim's mansion now. Bogum's voice drained this time. The well-known cheerful voice always dies in front of the scene like this. His gaze on Taehyung is somehow heartbroken. At the mention of Jungkook, something shook inside Taehyung. The once predatory glance now shifted to something softer. His grip on the suka loosened a bit. Jungkook, the boy with ebony hair, dark doe eyes, is a threat for Mafia Lord V. The Raven Mafia trembled slightly and walked away from there. His steps, which were filled with authorities, now echoes his urgency. He left without a second thought. Without any hesitation or care of his most favorite thing. His most prized possession is the weapon he cherishes more than anything. If the Mafia Lord cares about anything the most, then it's his weapon. The rare piece of katana from the 16th century. He spent millions of dollars for a tachi in the 12th century. Now the katana he paid almost 10 millions is laying recklessly on the dirty place. The same one which he considers as his top favorite one. Meanwhile, Jungkook's smile fell as he witnessed a girl sitting on the couch sipping the orange tea. Taehyung left, dropping him in the gate. His car stayed until Jungkook disappeared behind the large wooden door. Noticing everything with a side eye, Jungkook felt happy. The reason is unknown or very well known. But the peace of sense ruined by the blonde girl sitting on the couch. A strong feeling of negativity crept inside Jungkook's chest. The girl raised his head. Her beautiful features are admirable, but those eyes feel malicious. Jungkook's feelings turned ugly watching the girl sitting on the couch rightfully. He didn't like the authority that a stranger girl is putting in the house which rightfully belongs to him. But without saying anything, he takes the straight case, leaving the place with long strides. As soon as the oak door opened and the ebony-haired delicate boy threw himself on the bed. His limbs are tired. The ugly feeling makes his mind a total mess. He hates this ugly feeling burning inside his chest. Those doe eyes get closed automatically due to overwhelming tiredness. Without him knowing, he drifted in his dreamland. But witnessing his facial expressions, it's clear then crystal that he is drowning in a nightmare. As soon as the Raven Mafia walked inside, his gaze burned with rage. The sight seems unpleasant to him. His loathing for those clingy people is deep as the ocean. And the number one in this list is the girl who is sitting on the couch. But without uttering a word, he left decisively. He is in no mood to bark now. Nor does have any strength to bear a clingy $. Leaving left the better option for him. The door was already open, which forced him to bring a frown in his eyebrow. He makes sure to inform Jungkook just to keep the door locked always. The personal space he craves is already taken away by Jungkook. But he can't let anyone else take the peace. He pushed open the oak door only to be frozen in his spot. He witnessed the scene which is worth giving away everything precious. Jeon Jungkook laying in the bed. Wrapped in the silk bed completely. Only his head is visible to Taehyung's sight. Soft snore leaving his mouth with chest heaving out from time to time. One hand hidden under the black silk while another one clutching the hem of the pristine pillow. My mouth slightly opened due to deep breathing. Silky hair moving by the air passing by the open window. The moonlight fell on his milky skin. His rounding pink chubby cheeks turned silvery under the full moonlight. He looks like someone who was carved by innocence. Someone who is untouched by the world Taehyung just left minutes ago. Witnessing the scene, the harshness of the hellish red room washed away completely. The irritation witnessing an unpleasant guest is long gone. The predatory hawk in his eyes changed gradually. It shifted from menace to reverence. The stiff shoulder loosened like everything disappointed in the friction of time. He walked inside, locking the door behind. Gaze still on the ethereal scene. It would be a shame to let others witness such a scene. After all, whoever belongs to Kim Taehyung shouldn't be admired by anyone else. And Jeon Jungkook, now Kim Jungkook, only belongs to Kim Taehyung. Just the moment he walked inside, his eyes stayed longer than necessary. He can feel the burning sensation in his eyes. The thought that he didn't blink by watching someone sleeping peacefully will be a shame in Mafia Lord's history. But here he isn't the uprising business tycoon Kim Taehyung. He isn't the merciless monster in the underworld. He is just a man who is broken and somehow with the crack a little ray of hope peeking out. His gaze lingered on Jungkook's peaceful expression. Then, his eyes dropped. He looked down at himself. His own hands were smeared with rust-colored stains. In front of him is the dark panel window giving his reflection way too clearly. His hand works slower than ever. The dark suit is now hanging lazily on his shoulder. The white shirt clings to his skin. And the blood of his prey works as glue at this time. His eyes darted between the sleeping angel and his reflection on the panel. So inaccurate, so messed up. Taking this angel name with his sinful mouth would be an injustice to nature. He witnessed the sight of his neck. A spray of crimson color adorns his neck. He sighs and leaves for the washroom. The water slid down from his body. He closed his eyes under the cold water. The temperature of the water is freezing cold. His once warm body is now freezing, turning a bit pale. An hour passed, but still he is standing there like the place only escape left for him. He drowned somewhere. It looks like this isn't the body which has any soul. And finally his soul crawled back, hearing the loud banging on the door. A faint cracky sobbing voice reached his ear. He hurriedly pulled the bathrobe and a towel. Hiding his body under the robe, he opened the door only to witness his baby husband's whole red face. The little chubby baby was hiccuping loudly. The uneven breathing process turned his milky white skin turned red like a cherry. Taehyung doesn't know what action he should pull while standing at this moment. The crying boy latched himself on the mafia's board chest, hiding his face completely while Taehyung's breath hitched. He wrapped his arms gently around the petite waist. The chubby baby has such a miraculous petite waist which fits perfectly in Taehyung's arms. Why didn't you say anything? I was calling you for a long time. You were all quiet and didn't even utter a single word. I watched your shirt in the basket. It has blood. Where are you hurt? Show me. The little chubby baby said out all at once. He didn't care about the eagerness in his voice or the sudden physical closeness. All he wants to know is the security of his hubby, whose skin seems too cold for him. Taehyung's brown orbs move slightly, glancing at the basket. The thing Jungkook might have witnessed slipped away from his mind. With a long deep breath he caresses the boy's head. His long slender fingers run through the ebony hair. The boy hid his face in the board shoulder more. I am okay. The blood isn't mine. The Raven Mafia, who never cared about anyone's feelings, felt forced to give a certain answer which he never liked. And Jungkook isn't the one who pushes this force. It was something inside Taehyung's which forced him. Yo could have answered me. I was so scared, Jungkook said while hiccups left his mouth. His fragile body trembles with each word coming out from his mouth. I didn't hear anything, Taehyung said without any emotions, but a hint of tenderness latched on his voice. The dark brown orbs softened slightly, which no one can acknowledge, but like every time his baby husband did. His cheeks turned scarlet, and this time it's due to shyness. Taehyung noticed everything, but he didn't say anything as he knew nothing about the matter unfolding before him. He is good at taking life. Torture each soul for even breathing inside his territory. But the thing with Jungkook is foreign to him, and the most shameful way is that he is liking every bit of it. Did you have anything after returning? Taehyung's question was normal. Anyone should ask something like this. But here Jungkook floated in the air just hearing the simple question. The simple question isn't that simple. Not when his entire face along with neck changes color and turns crimson. His black doe eyes locked on those brown orbs. And his body moves faster than his mind. A slow shake takes action in charge almost immediately. He is in a daze. Without knowing his nearby surroundings. Let's go. It's already dinner time. Mr. Kim doesn't like latecomers. Taehyung stepped back, finishing his words. This closeness is insane. This moment is heavenly. But a sinner like him deserves everything hellish, not heaven. Who is this? All of you are Kim. Jungkook pouted a little while Taehyung took a glance over him. The Raven Mafia Lord hated unnecessary talk. He eventually doesn't like necessary talk being dragged and making a big line of one sentence. 3 to 4 words are enough for him, but surprisingly the same man is willing to listen to his baby husband's dumb talk. Kim Seokjin. Taehyung's answer was short. The ebony boy just looked at him with confusion. Until he knows Seokjin is Taehyung's brother. How come Taehyung calling him so formally? But he didn't push it further. With a pout he left from there to change. He chose a tee and trouser for himself from Taehyung's collection. Taehyung's gaze lingers on the washroom door. He would have slit anyone's throat for touching his belongings, but here he is standing with eagerness just to witness a cute chubby baby wearing his baggy clothes. Jungkook walked outside wearing trousers and a tee. Taehyung's gaze isn't on him. His entire gaze on his phone, or that's the show he is putting on. With his side eyes he glanced at his baby husband, who was looking too ethereal on this long tee. The tee covers till his lower thighs. Shoulder blades slightly showing due to the tee's size. The trousers are covering his whole foot, even toes are hidden inside the gray fabric. Jungkook is ethereal even when he is a mess. Jungkook looks at Taehyung, who is using his phone. I am ready. Let's go. I am already really hungry. Jungkook announced impatiently. His mind keeps thinking one thing. How can he pass this many hours without having anything? Taehyung stands on the footwalk to Jungkook. The mafia lord who never lowered his head or kneeled down, now sitting on his one knee. He patted his knee, giving a signal to Jungkook. Jungkook didn't understand the meaning of this action. Without a second thought he sits on the thigh while Taehyung's eyes pop out. Jungkook stood up after looking at Taehyung's face. The stoic strong face is neutral to the ebony. He can see through the man hidden inside thousands of shields. I am sorry. Jungkook stammering and trembling. His voice came out choked. The answer is unknown. He also doesn't get the reason behind the slight ache in his heart. But one thing is sure, he did something which he shouldn't. Taehyung takes a glance of his baby husband, who is standing hanging his head low. By the voice it's clear the chubby baby is on the verge of crying. No need. Place your foot here. Taehyung ordered the frightened boy, who didn't utter a single word and did what his scary husband said to him. Taehyung's fingers brushed over the hem of his trousers. He folded the first slide meticulously, followed by the second and third. Now it's perfect for the ebony. On the other hand, Jungkook's lips parted slightly. He can't understand this man. 1 second, terrifying. The next, gentle as a cool breeze. His bottom lips get bitten harshly watching the sight of this ruthless man. Taehyung witnessed the cute bunny print adorning toenails. He finger brushed over one nail with intentions of caressing. It brushed almost 3 to 4 times. Taehyung holds his baby husband's foot gently on the carpet, then takes another one. Jungkook is bewildered, standing like a dumb. He doesn't even know for how much time they are in this position. Jungkook's eyes lost their trance. He looked upward just to meet with those emotionless eyes. Taehyung's gaze on him is a boring hole inside his soul, but he cares really less about it. He tugged the hem of Taehyung's shirt sleeve. Taehyung didn't utter a word and started walking ahead. The steps are deliberately slower. Noticing it, Jungkook ran to him. Walking side by side, he feels the closeness between them. The dining hall is quiet. Namjoon is waiting in the chair, head hanging low. The pressure of the company is rising like an invisible ladder. His father's continuous whining about Taehyung's marriage with Yn made it worse. He wants solace. A little bit. And the only solace he needs now is Seokjin's smile. But the man shut himself completely. He doesn't even look at him. Once those eyes were filled with love, now